As the youngest, let's be real, I am probably the least qualified to talk about what we are discussing today because my kids are still playing with Legos and stickers and don't even know what Snapchat is. But that doesn't mean that I cannot cause some drama, stir the pot a little with you two. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Love SND podcast. If you are new here, you have stumbled into the chaos of three sisters who overanalyze everything from cultural quirks to teenage antics. I am Dipti, your host, the youngest of this trio, and we have Sheena and Nina. Sheena the eldest, Nina the middle child. So today we are diving into the world of Snapchat and teenagers. I hear that it's the way that kids are keeping in touch, but it's also definitely a one-way ticket to parenthood paranoia for Neen, let's say.
Yes,
For all
absolutely.
parents, I think, but there's a line somewhere that just needs to be very clear.
Yep.
And I think Nina and I also have very different outlooks, but we also have different genders of children. So
Yeah.
it's not black and white, yes or no. It's just there's so many different things that play into our decisions as parents. So what I decide for my boys isn't necessarily the right decision for her girls. And I can see that. I'm not blind to
Yeah.
that, and I can see where she's coming from, but they have my heart.
Why don't we hash it out? Okay, I'm going to ask you guys questions. You guys tell me what's going on. So
Okay.
let's start with why, Sheen, you said it's different for boys versus girls. Tell me how the boys use Snapchat.
I will say, first of all, these are solely opinions and not facts. I think for the boys, even within my three boys, they all use it very differently. Sean and Shaylin got it first because they're older, and they mainly use it to communicate with their friends because it is their primary source of texting. They use Snapchat to text with their friends or group chats or even sports chats, like team sports chats, whatever it may be. It's all primarily in Snapchat. So they're just constantly chatting with their friends, how we use text message. But also then there's some things that drive me crazy, like streaks and this and that, which becomes like a little bit addictive, which is what I don't like. But I let them have it because I trust them to use it how they're telling me they're using it. So they're not allowed to post and they're not allowed to share their location, which are two huge things for me on Snapchat. Cyan, on the other hand, literally has it but doesn't use it at all. I look at all their Snapchats randomly just to see conversations, who they're chatting with, what they're just randomly once in a blue moon. But like I said, like the way they use it, I trust and I look at. So I'm like, okay, that's fine. Like if you're following my rules, then it's fine.
Yeah.
I think it's a little different for girls, but I'll let Nina talk to that for a bit.
Neen,
first.
you haven't even given them the option to download it yet.
No.
Why?
No.
Is it a girl versus boy thing, or is it just your children?
First of all, I think it's been very obvious that over the years, we've been very conservative with media, all sorts of media, not just Snapchat or Instagram or whatever. I think that's a personal preference. I'm not a big family poster on Instagram. Now that we're doing Nina and Nani, we do that part of it, but I don't really put the kids on. But that's just something Neil and I have always been very adamant about.
Yeah.
Now, when it was the holidays and I wanted to post a picture of me and mom, I asked Sheena for that little filter that makes the Santa hat. So she opened up Snapchat and she gave it to me. And I looked in. Like, oh, I had like the perfect lips and the perfect eyes and the perfect cheekbones. And I was like, oh my God, this is why teenage girls have so many insecurities. If I, as a 40-plus-year-old woman, could get that insecure over a freaking Christmas hat, but like really everything else that was happening, I can't even imagine having to navigate how you look completely filtered, right?
Yeah.
And as then your new reality, and then having to navigate like social things and friends and girl drama and cliques. And I got invited here and I didn't get invited. And I was like, you know what? There's so many other things girls have to deal with that if you're connected through iPhone Messenger, which was our big compromise because we're an Android family, I think for us, that was a big give because we can't track their phone. It's too complicated for Android versus iPhones. I just think that the amount of stuff that teenage girls hormonally, emotionally, socially, and then educationally have to deal with as they navigate middle school to high school. I just don't think that layer is necessary. And I don't want to put that on the kids. It's easier for me to say no and them just keep asking me for it than for them to get it and then be like, well, you can't do this and you can't do that. This is just easier for everybody.
But why do the girls want it?
Like Sheena was saying, they claim that everything happens on Snapchat. All the friends communicate on there. And I'm like, well, if you have your 2 or 3 people and there is something big that you need to know about, they're going to tell you. You don't need to be on Snapchat to figure it out. You know, just talk to your friends like normal people do and text them and they'll tell you. But you don't need a whole app that's going to mess with all other aspects of your mind to stay in the loop if you have 2 or 3 good friends who will keep you in that loop.
I guess for girls, that's a little bit harder.
Yeah.
Because they want to know everything about everything and want to be included in everything. Where the boys, one, they will share information with each other. And 2, it's like, if I'm not included, oh, well, I'm not included.
And Sheen, do the boys go in on Snapchat on those filters to take pictures? Ever? No.
Never.
But every single time my girls are with you, they want to
go
take
on
the
there.
Snapchat pictures. So already you can see the way it messes with their minds is completely different, in my opinion. Again, all opinion.
No facts.
Just me. That's just me.
So wait, Sheena also mentioned educating the kids. To me, I feel like the worst part of social media is that it stays forever. And I know that Snapchat is more of 24 hours, it's there and then it's gone. But there's something to be said about educating the kids, having that conversation in terms of like, hey, you know that even though this says it lasts for an hour or 24 hours, people take screenshots and now it's there forever in their phones.
I talk about this constantly. It's not just Snapchat. It's just phones in general. Everything and anything does not need to be typed. The boys, they also have Instagram, but again, I just feel like it's different. Their primary source for wanting to have Instagram is to follow the Philadelphia Eagles, to follow soccer, follow, their sports teams and what those players are doing. It's not really about what are their friends. Their friends aren't doing anything either, which is very different than girls because I've also seen it, not with Nina's girls, just in girls in general. But I have these conversations over and over again that anything you put out into the universe via your phone is there forever, whether it's on Snapchat where it's going to go away or not. Like their old friends have gotten into trouble for saying things and sending pictures in school because people have taken screenshots and taken it. But again, I don't know if it's me telling them that or they just don't care to do any of that. If they were taking advantage of it, they would lose it. So it's kind of like, you want to keep Snapchat, you have to earn my trust and you have to show me you have common sense with these kinds of things. Otherwise, forget it. I think my view also is that like there will also always be these kinds of things that come into their lives, which are probably not a good idea for them, but I want them to learn how to use things responsibly. But I will say, Neen, I think it's important when you're ready. In time, you will have to let them slowly experiment with these things because if they're not doing it on their own phones with you monitoring, they're still doing it on their friends' phones. They're doing it on even my phone, but my phone's still a little bit more responsibly because I'm there. So your job will have to be to teach them how to do it responsibly, show them where our parameters are as a family, but they will have to experiment with it with your approval because otherwise they'll do it behind your back. And that's worst case scenario.
Yeah. We've been very clear with them that the discussion for getting any more apps will be in 10th grade. And that's only because to me, developmentally, they'll be in a better place to handle an additional responsibility of social media because it's not just, oh, I got Snapchat. Great. All 3 of us can attest to the fact that even just with Instagram, there's this obsession or this feeling of I need to keep up or envy or whatever it is that we've talked about, on and off, that I just don't feel that it's another level that they need to be exposed to yet. It's coming. I know it's coming. We talk about it all the time. I just don't think the urgency with which they express it is the urgency with which they need to get it. And I keep telling them all the time, this is not the hardest thing you're going to have to deal with. Having to have an iPhone to text your friends. You'll be fine, girls. Chill out. At least you're connected. We have to mail letters. Like, come on.
We have to call our friends' parents to talk to our friends.
Come on, dude. You're way more connected than you need to be. And you're good. You're good. When we were away, they were able to keep up with their friends the entire time. There was no, oh my God, because I don't have Snapchat, I can't see my friends.
Okay,
No,
literally,
they
they
were
don't
saying,
talk like that.
they do. You don't hear it because you're like, you've got like rainbow colored glasses on when you see them
Yes, we have love goggles on when it comes to all of the kids,
all
okay?
of the time.
All the time. But
Right.
hold on. I don't think that we have them for no reason. And this is definitely a testament to the way that you are raising the girls, in that they are just really good girls. They are good people. And I'm going to tell this story because literally I haven't been able to stop thinking about it since it
Lord.
happened yesterday.
Okay,
So we were
yesterday.
all at Sheena's house, and Sheena takes out a stack of these Lululemon little crossbody bags, a stack of them, okay? And she,
That's for another
By the way,
episode,
you're
guys. That's for
welcome,
another
okay?
yes, we all got to take one. But what was so sweet is that not the fact that Sheena offered them to the three girls. She was like, you know what? You all three get to pick one.
You too.
And us too. And so Neva picked hers, Naya picked this black fluffy one, and then Nessa, like the true baby of the family that she is, picked the same one as Naya, but in a different color, a fluffy one, but brown. And so Sheena was like, Nessa, that's not the right color for you. It's more of an adult bag. And she was like, oh, but it's so fluffy. I love that it's so fluffy. But you know what Naya did? And I know you know because you saw it, but you didn't acknowledge it to Naya for 1 second. Naya goes, Nessa, you take mine. Sheena Masi, do you have another one, like the black flat one that I can have? Because she knew that Nessa just wanted a fluffy bag. She sacrificed her own bag and took another one because she is such a freaking good girl.
You know why? Because she's not thinking about Snapchat. That's
Yeah.
why. She did
Yeah,
it. 'cause she's
no,
not
I
thinking about
agree. It is a testament to the way you're raising them, in that they don't have all this outside noise. And maybe on Snapchat, the outside noise would make her less intuitive about what other people want in real life.
Or
if
like
that
her
makes
sisters.
sense.
It would become more of a me conversation in that age and stage.
Yeah,
You know,
because
whatever.
what if she saw that all her friends have the black fluffy one,
Yeah.
and now she wasn't willing to part ways with that?
Right.
This is also a very basic example of, I guess, your reason of not wanting to expose them to that yet.
It's just another layer of potential insecurity. And I think that because she's the oldest, everything she does, the girls follow suit, but sooner, right? But I think that with these bigger things that can literally warp their mind and their securities and their self-image and their confidence, I'm not ready to throw in the towel and be like, fine, all your friends have it, you can have it. I'll teach you how to be responsible, but I can't teach her that don't let this one thing impact you because it doesn't matter. There's no
But
control.
you
over
can
that,
teach
right?
her that. And you should teach her that with or without Snapchat.
Right. So we can teach her to a point where she understands from us, but again, we're her parents. So when the friend then says, look at how you're angled in that picture, or that filter is not the right filter, we have no control over that. And then it becomes a self-image problem. Like, I always need to pose like this, or I need to look a certain way so my friends approve. This whole age and stage is about seeking approval.
But you know how you teach us all the time that opinions don't matter, all the things that you teach us now as adults. Typically, had we learned that at her age, we'd be in such a different place at this point in our life. So I think that it's important actually to go through those experiences while she has you all the time reminding her that that's her opinion. It doesn't matter. Those kinds of reminders, I think, have helped me so much in the past few years that I think at this age, if you were to teach the girls that, they would be completely different humans at our age. You know, I have friends who have daughters who have Snapchat, and there's such a vast difference between some of them. Like, some of them have the constant like FOMO and upset of that I wasn't invited here, I was excluded, they all wore a Halloween costume set without me. But then there's the other mom who says, you know what? They all wore that Halloween costume and they didn't include you, but that's okay because you have a fantastic one on your own. They are allowed to do that. They don't owe you anything, or they're allowed to hang out. She thinks you don't look good in this picture, but guess what? That's her opinion and it doesn't matter. So like, those are the kinds of things she constantly is reassuring her and reminding her that she is an individual. She doesn't belong to a certain pact and nobody owes her anything in life. Like if she wants to be a part of that Halloween costume, be like, hey girls, next year if you do that, let me know, I'll join you. Like, have that confidence in yourself to be like, I want to be a part of that. or you know what, I'm good. I don't want to do that. Like,
Man, if we had those lessons when we were Naya and Eva's age, damn.
I know, but just
you know
even
what?
these thoughts all the time that like,
Yeah.
surround yourself with people that pick you up, not people that bring you down. Like
Yeah.
if we had that
Yeah.
thought and mindset at their age, again, I know as a teenager, you're like, fuck that. I just want to be part of the party.
Yeah.
But I feel
You're
like
not hearing
we
it the same in your tweens as you are in your 40s. Let's just,
Yeah.
but we never
No, we
had
talk
that
about this
reality
all
check
the time,
once.
though.
Yeah.
We wish that we could give them a looking glass.
Exactly.
I told them I went to my 20-year high school reunion, and trust me, everything that we did in high school does not matter. Again, we so badly want to give them that looking glass, but unfortunately, they're in it. They're learning it.
It's just
the way we did.
experience. Yeah,
Yeah.
and then just being there to remind them, right, that
Yeah.
we're always in your corner, and that's what matters most. So,
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
yeah.
All right, let's end this on a high note. What are the pros of Snapchat? Sheen,
Sheena,
I think for me,
tell us why it's not all bad.
for me, like I don't care about Snapchat. I'm on it mostly to follow the boys. Like they're truly just having text conversations with their friends, and mildly appropriate. They're teenagers, so there is some like inappropriate language or memes, but I'm like, okay, that's fine. Let it go. Let it go.
You know, they send some of that stuff to me, and I'm like, oh,
Yeah. No, it's definitely like, oh, okay, that's how you guys talk now, but that's okay. I should be grateful if that's my problem. But for me, as far as a pro, I think that I'm just giving them that trust that I trust you guys. Don't break my trust with it. And they are actually taking it seriously and doing as they're told, which makes me be like, okay, that's okay for you guys, you know? But like I said, they don't have nearly any similar problems or like issues with the app that girls potentially have, which I have seen outside of our girls. So
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, any pros, or you're just over it?
The filter, I mean, I'm just going to say, I was told I look like Ariana Grande in my filter. So.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I looked at that filter too, and I like looked really hard. How can my makeup make me look like this? How do I actually make this happen for
I
myself?
don't think the filters are the problem in general. Like it wouldn't be my worry. It wouldn't be my worry, but like I think
But
more
you can
so
tell
like
how even if we were kind of like, oh, imagine I look like that every day. As a tween, you're like, dude, I could look like this. This is my face still. It's just like a little morphed. And then you start getting the complexes, right? Like I'm not good enough, or my nose could be different, my eye skin, my eyebrows, my cheekbone, my jawline. Like,
but I think that
there's
was
no
also
end to
your
it.
first time ever looking at that
Well,
filter or any filter in that Snapchat.
Like when Naya came home one day and was like, I need concealer. I was like, you lost your bloody mind.
Oh my God, that's gonna be a whole new episode, just skincare for teenagers. I think even I'm traumatized and I don't even have girls. Like,
Girl, you should. We will do an episode on the things these kids do in Sephora.
Oh my
It's
God.
wild to
is
me.
Ridiculous.
It's wild. Especially for us three who use like oil of Olay and Nivea.
Yeah.
We're so happy in
That's
our
it.
little blitzed world.
I know.
Yep.
It's crazy.
All right. Well, there you have it. There's the conversation of Snapchat, whether it is, you know, just a regular text messaging app or an absolute nightmare, all depending on your perspective.
Yeah.
So to all the parents out there, are you team Sheena or team Nina? Or are you team Dipti in that you're going to get your kids flip phones and that's going to be where we are?
Yeah. For real.
If only. Ugh.
I know.
Would be
All right,
amazing.
guys, thanks for joining us today. We hope you enjoyed listening to the episode. Find us in the link in the bio. We are on Instagram and YouTube and wherever else you need to find us. Thanks for listening. With love, SND.